Welcome to Get Real with Margie. Today we're going to get real about condominiums, and there are three things you should know when you're buying a condominium. There's lots of things you should know, but in this case there's three that I want you to be aware of. The first thing is, as part of a condominium transaction, unlike a single family transaction, you are reviewing condo documents, budget, and financials with your attorney prior to the purchase and sale agreement. And very recently, I was in a transaction where the condo documents and the public record, the tax assessment, stated that the condominium was a 2-bedroom. When we studied the condo documents, we saw that it was listed as an actual 1-bedroom, not a 2. And this was a problem because my buyers were paying for a 2-bedroom condominium. That is the price range that they were paying for this particular unit. So that was a big surprise, and it took a lot of conversations with the listing agent. The sellers weren't even aware of this. The attorneys had to go back and forth, and there was a way to remedy this, but the most important thing is that it was remedied before my clients closed. If they had closed on that property and tried to resell it, they would have been stuck with the information from their buyer that it was actually technically a 1-bedroom on paper. So that's a very important thing to look for. The other thing you want to look for that's very important is the pet policy. Sometimes listing sheets say pets allowed, and that's great. The question is, how many pets are allowed? Is it dogs and cats? Are there weight restrictions? Are there breed restrictions? What if I want to have a parrot? These are all really important things to know beforehand. I also was in a transaction recently where all the owners of the condominium association agreed to sign a document, an addendum to the pet policy, allowing one particular dog to live in their association that typically would not have been allowed due to their weight. So there are usually ways around this and ways to make it work, but in the case where it can't, you don't want to be under agreement or have closed on a property and find out that your pet will not be allowed, or if you had planned on getting a dog or a cat, that you would not be allowed to do that. The other thing to be careful of is understanding where exactly the common areas are in the association. Is it front? Is it back? Do you have rights of way on each other's property? And if you do have areas that are just designated to your condominium, for example, a garage or a parking spot or a piece of land, is it deeded or is it exclusive use? There's a difference between deeded property and exclusive use of property. And again, that's something I'm happy to talk to you about if you want to contact me. It would take me a while to explain it here, but these are just very important things to look for when you are buying a condominium. I hope that was helpful, and I look forward to having you check back soon with Get Real with Margie.